I'm through with my questions, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Senator Guingona has a brief manifestation.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I just left off where I start where I left off yesterday with regard to Secretary De Lima about the issue of the PNP chain of command. No, I have received additional data. The concept of chain of command is also stated in the manual of the Philippine National Police. Secondly, the PNP chain of command is also recognized under Malacanang Administrative Order number 40 dated February 24, 1993. And there are two Supreme Court cases that recognize the chain of command of the Philippine National Police. As we all know, in accordance with the Civil Code provision, all decisions of the Supreme Court form part of the law of the land. Therefore, in the case of PNP Superintendent Fianza versus the People's Law Enforcement Board of the City of Baguio, March 31, 1995, it was recognized by the Supreme Court. And in the case of Chief Superintendent Jewel Canson versus Vicente Hidalgo, August 4, 2000, the Supreme Court also recognized the PNP chain of command. And also the Office of the Ombudsman in its Corruption Prevention Project Integrity Development Review of the PNP Police. And I quote, "The leadership of the Philippine National Police follows the chain of command. This hierarchical arrangement is shown on the PNP organizational chart." I shall be submitting these documents to the Secretariat, and we will also furnish the good Secretary so that, as I stated yesterday, you may take it into account in revisiting your stance on the matter. Ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, I will definitely look into those two cases or three cases that you cited, Your Honor, including those issuances, the PNP and also the Ombudsman. And I'm about actually really to also submit my own paper on that, as I undertook to submit yesterday. But I'll first look into those cases that you mentioned. I, of course, would want to know whether there is a discussion on the distinction between the command structure of the AFP as against the PNP, because I had occasion, Your Honor, to review EO 226, the one you mentioned yesterday, and I would put forward the position that command responsibility and the doctrine of command or superior responsibility are actually two distinct concepts, and that 226, EO 226, does not necessarily say that the chain of command is present in civilian organizations, because EO 226 apply not only to PNP but all other civilian offices in the executive department. Because if we go by the theory or position that there is chain of command as espoused in that EO 226 in the civilian bureaucracy, is there really? It would mean that all civilian offices would have a chain of command structure. So I have discussed that in my paper, but I'll be glad to consider also the Supreme Court decision and how exactly it meant. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Senator Binay, also let me remind you, you invited our guest today.
Madam Chair, just a follow-up, nakapag-submit na ho ba sila ng mga text exchanges nila?
We requested Secretary Rojas. No, we haven't received yet. from Secretary Rojas, General Espina, and Secretary Gasmin.
I will follow it up. My understanding is we had sent it in already. I'll follow it up, Madam Chair.
I think we have just Secretary Gasmin. They just informed me from the Secretary today.